Here we are again. This is Sola. This is Jimmy De Los Santos, and I am with Jacob Arthur, who we just met a little while ago. He is also on the Bar Network, and he's doing the Broken Bones podcast. Tell me, Jacob, how did you get started doing the Broken Bones podcast?
So I got tied in. I was telling you my story about the legal work getting tied in with Just Thinking and with Dwayne with the bar. And I had been teaching Sunday school for probably 15 years to adult Sunday school class at my church, and kind of decided to take a break from that, and had thought about doing a podcast, and decided since I was tied in with everybody that I would try it, and started doing the Broken Bones podcast. And kind of continuation of my teaching method is what I do on my podcast. Going through A.W. Pink's book right now, The Attributes of God, and so I spend each episode I'm doing a chapter, so I'm about 13, 14 chapters in right now, almost finished with that, but that's kind of the thing I'm doing now, and ended up getting on the network with everybody else, so just happy to be here. Feel fortunate.
Great. That's awesome. 15 years teaching Sunday school. That's dedication right there. I know you guys heard this just now that he said about the legal story. He is a lawyer. Want to let you know that. Don't tune out at this point in time. He's still a good guy. I guarantee. I just was listening to him, so he's a good guy. And I want to ask you some questions now. That's the story I want you to tell us about. How did you get hooked up with the network? You were just telling us about something that happened this year.
Yeah, so I was watching the episode that the Just Thinking guys did with John Cooper from Skillet, and Daryl had made a statement during that episode where he said, we turn pages, bro, and so that obviously became a catchphrase that they started putting on T-shirts and mugs and stuff. And as I was telling you, somebody started selling counterfeit merch, and so Daryl reached out on social media looking for an attorney that might be able to help. I reached out to him private message, and he contacted me back, and I helped him get the counterfeit merch pulled, and we started filing trademark applications on the saying for the logo. We turn pages, and he and Virgil spoke, and I guess spoke with the rest of the team. Said, hey, we kind of need a lawyer on the team, and asked me if I would do it, and I jumped at it. So, yeah.
That's an awesome story. I didn't know I had a lawyer. And I'm just kidding. He's not the SolaCast lawyer. He is for the Bar Network, I guess, or for Just Thinking. But that's an awesome story. Now, tell us where you're located, and tell us. You gave us the premise, like with A.W. Pink. Is that the first book? Is that the only book, or is that what you're going to continue to do as the premise for your podcast?
Yeah. So I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh, and really the premise of the podcast is I really kind of my catchphrase is rejoicing in the redemptive work of Jesus Christ and proclaiming the gospel. So I picked Broken Bones, Psalm 51:8, and actually got the idea for it from a sermon that Vody Balcom did called Brokenness. It's on YouTube. You can catch it, and had a chance to actually meet him yesterday and thank him for his ministry and tell him, hey, brother, I'm using a very short clip from that sermon in my intro on my podcast. And so I'm going through A.W. Pink's book right now. It's kind of my second season. I did a kind of shorter first season that's really a intro to me and stuff like that. But I also address all kinds of cultural topics, things going on. I'll break into a freestyle episode every now and then, just address things from a biblical perspective. And I do want to continue focusing on that kind of teaching thing. So once I'm done with this A.W. Pink book, probably going to take a short break, see what I want to do next, and move on from there.
I like the idea that a lawyer is actually involved in this type of ministry, and I'll tell you why. Because I think that a lot of people don't really understand when it comes to the law. I mean, I'm an evangelist. I'm first and foremost an evangelist, and I use the law to bring about a knowledge of sin, so that I can present the gospel in a clear way. How has being a lawyer, and I'm just going to say this, how does being a lawyer make or giving you light when it comes to your evangelistic efforts, your ministry efforts, your teaching? How has that helped you?
I would say probably, honestly, the biggest benefit the law and law school has given me is my study. The way I'm able to prepare, to study, to research, it's all things I learned in law school. And I can also anticipate arguments better. So if I'm encountering somebody and maybe evangelizing or ministering to somebody, and they've got a comeback, I feel like I've been able to better be prepared to anticipate that and have a counter argument to argue back and say, no, answer something from a biblical point of view and address that concern or that issue they may have.
So, I'm getting close to the end here. Just want to say, where do you see it going? What's the future for you? How do you see it ending up? For Jacob Arthur, what's it look like in the future?
You know, I honestly don't know. If you had asked me 7 months ago, would I be sitting at G3 working the booth for Daryl and Virgil and the Just Thinking podcast and the Bar Network, I never would have believed it. So this is all kind of in the infancy for me, but I see God's hand through it all, and that's what's amazing is being able to see, like, okay, God put me here when he needed to. He put me here. He put me there. And, you know, I kind of, even when I'm giving my testimony, I'm just along for the ride. I'm an actor in this play that God's already put together. And so I don't know where it's going to go. I know wherever it goes will be fine and it'll be where it's supposed to be, but I'd love to keep reaching more people, and if that's what's supposed to be, that'll be. And if not, I'll do the next thing that I'm supposed to do. So it's good. It's all good.
Where can people find you?
We're on all the podcast networks: Spotify, Apple, Google Play, whatever you listen to. It's the Broken Bones podcast. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. So.
Thanks for taking the 5 minutes out of your day.
Yeah,
right,
brother. Yeah, man. I appreciate it, guys.
That's it. We're out.